Listen, I'm easy to find. And then they can kiss my ass.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Nathan back with another video presentation. Hope you're all well. Hope you're all staying safe. Happy Thursday. This is episode 15. 15 of Big Nate Sports Talk. Yes, as you have seen the title of the video, the NBA Finals is here, ladies and gentlemen. We have been waiting for this very, very, very special occasion. Before we get into that, there's a few things I'd like to say up front. I'm going to finish. I'm almost done. I have all the episodes downloaded, and I just need to upload them through Anchor via Spotify for season 7. I'm also going to catch up with season 8. Hopefully have that up for y'all by this evening. I'm going to, as soon as I'm done with this episode, wrap it up, right back and upload it. I have a special announcement. I will announce it at the end of the episode regarding for tomorrow's episode. Some things have changed. I saw something that was very, very important and it caught my eye. So be tuned in for that announcement at the end of this episode. So as far as I'll actually also to mention, I have another like to give a closing message at the end of this episode as well. But like as you see the title, it is game 1 of the NBA Finals. We're doing a preview. Boston Celtics versus the Golden State Warriors. I'm pretty much David versus Goliath. Okay. The last time these guys met was in 1964. That was Wilt Chamberlain versus Bill Russell. I think Bill Russell had won his 3rd playoff game against Wilt and the 8 times that they did face each other. Fun fact. Okay. Where do we begin? So, Golden State. It was an interesting journey. To not have not have that Klay Thompson until I think it was January. And then Draymond Green got hurt with the back injury. Steph Curry got hurt. Andrew Wiggins, Jordan Poole, who I, for the record, had him as most improved player. When I looked at who should be the most improved player, I considered him to get a vote. Andrew Wiggins, who turned out to be an all-star. There's a lot of inconsistencies, but those guys stepped up. To see this team now back at 100% healthy, they got through a Nugget team that was pretty much the Joker and friends. Didn't have Jamal Murray, didn't have Michael Porter Jr. To get past Luka Doncic, the Dallas Mavericks, and then also to a Memphis Grizzly team that I thought showed some resilience but lost Ja Morant, who suffered the knee injury. I thought that was that's how Golden State's got to where they're at today. Offensively, we all know what Golden State is, but let's give Steve Kerr and that coaching staff some real credit on the defensive side of the ball. I pulled this stat up, and I couldn't believe it. So they finished second in allowing 106. Well, I don't know if there's like 107 points and over 100 possessions. I couldn't believe that stat. And then they're like 13th in playoffs. No, I think it was something like where they ranked, like it was like the number, according to NBA.com, it was like 111 points. It was something weird like that. I couldn't remember the stat. I think it's like they're 5th in the playoffs when allowing points as a defensive team. So that's something that I'm taking into consideration for this game tonight is their defense. The Boston Celtics. A lot of people wrote them off early. Um, people were questioning Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. They need to break that tandem up. They can't play together. They can't do this. They can't do that. Coach U, um, Nduka, again under the great tutelage of Greg Popovich. Um, his identity made the identity of the Boston Celtics was defense, and getting Derek White, I thought was great from San Antonio, uh, and that rotation got a lot better. I'll be honest, I'll say like last 3-4 months of the season, if you watch those games, Boston arguably had the better defensive team. Jason, I mean, you can't take anything away from what Jason Tatum done. He deserved to get all first team. I think Jaylen Brown got like some votes for. I think it was all third team. Marcus Smart, who I said he was defensive player of the year. I had Mikal Bridges second. Robert Williams the third, and he also got all to say. I said he should have made all defensive team. And then also too, Al Horford got some love in there as well as with some votes. What I've seen from the Boston Celtics this season, we were really in the playoffs. I was a little concerned for them. They were going against KD and Kyrie in the first round. I'm thinking like, okay, they're going to give KD and they're going to give them the business. Then they swept them. Beat Giannis, Game 7, and then took down a Miami Heat team that was just riddled with injuries. Jimmy Butler himself beat him in 7 games on the road. On the road, ladies and gentlemen. I had to go back and look. I looked at these teams and I'm like, they've dealt with a lot of adversity, but they've always found each other, pick each other up, and you got to give both coaching staffs their dues. Now they did face each other in the regular season. Golden State did beat them. I think it was like in December. It was by 4. Because Clay was out and Jordan Poole was out. I think Moses Moody. Did Moses start in that game? I think he did. I know Clay and not Clay, Steph and Andrew Wiggins, they went off almost like 60 points in that game. And then who else? Al Horford. I can remember distinctly he didn't play in that game. And then Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, they had almost combined for, I want to say it was like almost 50 points in that game. And then the second time they saw each other, that's when we kind of started to hear that when Marcus Smart, he dove for the ball and hit Curry's ankle, and Steve Kerr said it was a dangerous play and all this other stuff. And I didn't think it was dirty. I mean, I didn't see anything dirty about that play at all. I know Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown went off in that game. Klay Thompson and Jordan Poole, I think I think Tatum and Brown, I think sounded like 51, 52. And Klay and Jordan had, I want to say it was like 48 points combined together or something like that. If you do the math, they've the winning team. I think both of them. I want to say the stat was like 19. It was like somewhere like around 20 points, like a 20-point lead, something like that. I think that's going to be a factor in this series is the shooting. We all know Golden State is really a better 3-point shooting team. Boston, I like to see what they do on the defensive side. They do hold, I saw this stat again, they do hold a better advantage in rebounding Actually on the offensive side of the ball and defensively. But Golden State has more second chance points. And I think we got to take it back. We got to take into consideration the lineups. So I know for a fact that starting lineup tonight, Golden State's going to have Steph, Jordan Poole, Clay, Draymond, and Wiggins. That Otto Porter, I could probably see them starting Kevon Looney. Otto Porter, I know, dealt with a foot injury. Gary Payton he's on track to play game 2. And Iggy with Andre Iguodala. Iggy's dealing with a neck injury, I think it is. So I could see that lineup. Kevon Looney actually might be in that starting lineup because I think I could see ball. I could see Golden State might act. No, they might stick with that small ball lineup. I can see them sticking with it. And then Boston, I know it's going to be JT, JB, Marcus Smart, Robert Williams, and then Al Horford. So I think that's going to be no, I'm sorry, Grant Williams. But Grant Williams really hasn't been. I don't know. Maybe I know there's a series that may not be for everybody, and I'm not sure if he's struggling with his confidence. I don't know, but I do know. I have noticed that when Grant Williams does struggle, he puts in Derek White in the lineup, which that's small, very small, but it gets the job done. Now, I do think Robert Williams may. I will watch his minutes because I know he's been dealing with his knee. I think his knee goes inflamed, something like that. So I know they're going to probably watch his minutes for sure. But a couple things I'm looking into: Golden State's offense, how they're going to match up with Boston's defense. How do you contain arguably the best shooter in today's game? And then defensive player of the year. So you know Marcus Smart's going to be on Steph. Fun fact, I actually pulled this up. So when Marcus Smart is guarding Steph Curry, the 21 shots from the field that Steph takes, he's made only 7. He's committed 10 turnovers. Interesting stat. Now, the Celtics beating with Steve Kerr as the head coach, okay, they have a 9-7 winning record. And due to Marcus Smart being on Steph Curry, that was an interesting stat I could not believe. Now that's going to be the key. And then more importantly also too, on Boston's side, Boston's offense matching with Golden State's defense. I would like to see Jaylen Brown. He's got to be Jason Tatum's Robin. Other than Jason Tatum, I need these guys. I need Jaylen Brown to step up. I want to say Jason Brown. I think that's the key for the series. Is offensively and defensively these matchups. Who takes advantage? I'm going to say this series is going to go 7 games. Guaranteed. I'm not quick to jump to the gun and say Warriors in 5. I think the Celtics can. If you hold my feet to the fire, I say Golden State can win in 6. But I'm gonna say tonight, the Golden State Warriors beat the Boston Celtics 108-103. Guaranteed. I think I can see that. I can see a score like that. Now, Mike Bryn is calling game 1. Jeff Van Gundy, hope he's doing well. Get well soon, Jeff. Tested positive for COVID. So It's going to be interesting. It's going to be a great game one. I'm excited. But yeah, for me, I could see this series going 7 games. But if you have my feet to the fire, I would say Golden State in 6. I think Boston can win 2 games. I'm not going to go everybody say, oh, it's going to be a sweep or Golden State in 5. I don't see it like that. Because, I'm looking at Golden State. Yes, they're Goliath. Boston's Robin. Boston really has no championship experience. That was really, really an alarming stat.
This is some bad stuff. So when are we going to say something about it? You know what?
So, and then I think Golden State has 123 games of experience. So
I think we need to move Lonzo.
That ain't no problem.
Huh?
That ain't no problem.
Well,
so that's my score for the night. Y'all let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I'm going to say Golden State takes game 1 because I believe they are 18-0. I think from the stat I saw, I may have that wrong. If I do, I apologize. But I know they're going to set the tone. They've had more rest. But I'm not going to sleep on Boston's defense. I'm going to be curious to see what happens tonight. Would you let me know your thoughts in the comments below? Special announcement. So tomorrow's episode, the WNBA 2022 All-Star voting will be at launch at 2 p.m. So in the evening, I will go live and do my voting. So check that out tomorrow. If you had not, be tuned in for that tomorrow, as we have a live All-Star WNBA All-Star voting. Be tuned in for that. But other than that, closing message. I saw yesterday that Madden, EA Sports, the cover for Madden 23 will be John Madden, which was which should have been a no-brainer. I'm happy that he's going to be on the cover for all the editions. Let me say this: we've all played Madden, whether it was on the Sega Genesis, Nintendo, PlayStation, GameCube, Xbox, Wii. We've all played Madden at some point growing up. For me, when you think of Madden, you think of the game, you think of John Madden. The commentary. I remember it was Pat Summerall and John Madden for the early, I think up until 2002, with Dante Culpepper was on the cover. Then it was Al Michaels and John Madden. Then it became Chris Collinsworth and Al Michaels. I don't really pay attention to the commentary now, but a lot of the football knowledge came from me, was learning it through John Madden. And also to learn about the players, because every time, I remember a funny story. So I remember playing Madden 2002, 2003, even 2001, where whether I was using the 49, I'll use the 49ers, for example. And Jeff Garcia, I would throw the ball to Terrell Owens Terrell Owens or Jerry Rice, and Pat would ask, John, what can you tell me about that Terrell Owens, John? And John will blah blah blah. Well, he'll go on a little spiel about the player. John Madden has touched us in a lot of ways of loving the game of football, but more in love game of football. I remember watching Sean Spencer. I remember watching his show with David Wright and Sidney Swinton. It was a fantasy football show, and that's when I had found out that he had passed away. It's like the kid a part of us died, like the kid in us, because when you think of football, you think of John Madden. So I'm happy he's on the cover. I will buy the game. I don't know which edition yet, but I will buy it. But yeah, man, I just wanted to get shout out to EA for that. Hope his family's doing well. Still praying for them. But I'm happy that he's on the cover. Much deserved. Miss you, Coach. Again, ladies and gentlemen, just check on your loved ones. Make sure friends, family, just check on them. We had another set of mass shootings. This time, one in the hospital. Just crazy. It's just ridiculous. It's just craziness. We got to really get our politicians. They got to do better. Like I said, November's coming up. Make sure you're registered to vote. Make sure you get registered to vote. Vote. Call your politicians. Write letters. Let them know you're frustrated with this progress that you've been seeing. And also to make sure that you're checking on your loved ones, on your loved ones, friends. But more importantly, make sure you're doing stuff, making sure that you're okay. Taking time for yourself. So definitely. I'm sending my thoughts and prayers to those that was affected. But we need action. We need our representation of our politicians to do better for the reflection of the people. Because last time I checked, we don't work for them; they work for us, and they're not doing a great job right now. But with that being said, be tuned in for tomorrow's episode. I'm going to, like I said, get on this, upload these episodes. I'll see y'all on the flip side. Y'all have a good night. Stay out.
If you smell,
Listen, I'm easy to find.
these videos are tremendous. Like, comment, and subscribe, and hammer that notification bell.
And listen, they can kiss my ass if they don't like it.